You see, Duke? Now that's how you do it. Now you try it.
You still trying to learn that old hound dog to fetch a stick?
Yeah. Ellie's fella's coming over, and I want him to think we got us a smart dog. Now watch, Duke.
Ellie's fella is gonna think he's a real smart dog. The only dog in town got a boy that fetches sticks.
He's the one supposed to do it, not me. Tell you something, Uncle Jed. He ain't too bright.
He's too bright to fetch sticks.
Is Ellie's fella here yet?
No, and when he comes, you make yourself scarce.
What you mean?
Now, don't go pestering him with questions right off. Let him and Ellie be alone for a while first. Leave the boy be.
Did you hear that, Jethro? Leave the boy be. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be a boy. He'd be a frog.
Granny, you mean frog man.
I said a frog. A web-footed, bulgy-eyed, fly-snapping frog.
Granny, Mark Templeton is what you call a naval frog man.
He was when he come here. From the navel down, he was frog. Then I give him a potion what was supposed to make him into all man. But it backfired on me, and it made him all frog.
Do you expect me to believe that?
Do you expect me to eat today?
I believe it.
Then I had Ellie kiss the frog, and that changed him into all man.
That's wild.
What?
True. Hey, yonder he comes.
I wish I could get a look at his feet and legs. I don't know whether Ellie's kiss changed him into all man or just half and half again.
Hi, Jethro. How are you, Granny?
Just fine. How are you?
Fine.
You don't have a craving for bugs, do you?
Bugs? No.
Well, that's a good sign. Come on in. Ellie, Mark is here. Be down directly. Come on in the parlor.
Thank you.
Sit down. Take off your shoes.
Take off my shoes?
Yeah. Get comfortable. Put your feet up here on the coffee table and let's have a look at them.
You want to see my feet?
I can tell your fortune that way.
I've heard of palm readers, but...
I'm a foot reader. Let's have a look. To hide?
No, but my feet aren't exactly my best feature.
They ain't webbed, are they?
No, they weren't the last time I looked.
We'll check them. Beauty. You got a perfectly formed human foot.
Thank you. What about my fortune?
Oh, yeah. I see a beautiful blonde young lady has come into your life. Right?
Right?
She lives in a big mansion in Beverly Hills. Right?
Right?
Her name is Ellie Mae Clampett.
Right.
In a big mansion in Beverly Hills.
Right?
Her name is Ellie Mae Clampett.
Right.
Did I tell you I was a foot reader?
What's going on in here?
Hello, Mr. Clampett. Granny wanted to see my foot.
I want to see her. Come here.
You can put your shoe back on now. Take 2 aspirin and let me know if you have any more trouble. Jed, I'm a doctor. The boy had a splinter in his foot.
Did you get it out?
Oh, everything come out just fine.
Is Mark in the parlor?
Yes, Ellie, I'll take you to him.
Unless you can find it by yourself. Now you stay here.
What's the matter, Jed?
I don't want you in there dropping hints about getting married.
Would I do that?
You would. Where you going?
I have to pass through there to get to the pantry.
Go the back way.
Jed, that's twice as fur. I'm an old woman. I'm tired and worn out. Have a little mercy.
Promise you won't say nothing?
Not a word will I speak.
Okay, I'll go along just to make sure. Excuse us, youngins, we just passing through.
Dum-dum-da-dum, dum-dum-da-dum.
Granny!
I didn't say nothing, not a word. Dum-dum-da-dum.
Your grandmother's quite a character. explain it. It's nice to be alone, isn't it?
Sure is.
You know, Ellie,
Where's Granny and Uncle Jed?
they went that way.
Hey, look what just come in the mail. Old Jim Owens has wrote a book.
Well, that's wonderful. Why don't you take it someplace and read it?
Okay. It's called Jim Owens' Hillbilly Humor. That means jokes and such.
Thanks.
Two hill women was talking, and one says, "What do you think of red china?" And the other says, "I think with a yellow tablecloth, it'd be real pretty." Hey, here's another one. Old Jim says, "This country was better off when we had more whittlers and fewer chiselers." Hey, here's a dame. Listen to this.
Jethro, you're not going to read that whole book, are you?
No. We can take turns.
No, thanks. Why don't you read it to your granny and Uncle Jed?
Good idea. I'll call them in.
No, that isn't what I had in mind.
Jethro, we'd like to be alone.
You gonna neck?
Jethro!
Jethro, what are you doing in here?
I'm reading them this book that come in the mail.
Yeah, let's read it outside.
You read it. I'm gonna stay here and watch him neck.
Come on, boy, let's go. Old Duke is waiting for you to fetch sticks.
Your cousin Jethro's quite a character, too.
Right so. Well, we're alone at last.
Yes. Ellie Mae, there's something I'd like to tell you.
What is it, Mark?
Your granny's watching us.
What do you want, Granny?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to see if you was comfortable.
We're fine.
Anything you want or anything you need?
Not a thing.
You know, it's amazing how much you look like your brother Matthew. The one that's the preacher. The one that's married. The one that's happy.
He seems happy.
Must be right handy to have a brother that's a preacher.
What do you mean?
Well, if there's a wedding in the family, it's free.
I never thought of that.
Think about it.
Youngins, I'm awful sorry for... Granny,
Now, don't get upset. I'm only checking on Mark's foot.
let's go.
Let me know if you want anything, young'uns, like lemonade or cider or rice or old shoes or orange blossoms.
I'm awful sorry for all these interruptions, Mark.
That's okay.
I think this memory card failed.
It looks that way.
You started to say there was something that you wanted to tell me.
Yes, there is, Ellie. You're the most beautiful girl I've ever met.
Thank you.
You have the softest, silkiest hair, most beautiful blue eyes, loveliest complexion, most tempting lips, and the most ridiculous cousin who ever lived.
I was right. This beats Jim Owens' book. Go ahead, kiss her.
Jethro, I'm going to turn you every way but loose.
Miss Jane, can I see a minute?
¡Hijo de tu puta madre!
Sit down.
No, I can't wait. I just wanted to tell you that everything is just fine betwixt Ellie Mae and that Templeton fella.
Good. No more bad dreams about his being half frog?
Not a one. First I mixed up a potion, but it worked in reverse. It turned him into all frog.
What a nightmare that must have been.
It was terrible. Then you told me the story about the pretty girl kissing the frog and turning him into a handsome fella, and that worked just dandy.
Wonderful.
Even his feet is perfect.
His feet.
Oh, Miss Jane, you should have seen them. They was that long and black and webbed, just like a frog.
He's all right now. You're sleeping well again.
Thanks to you. And just to show my appreciation, I brought you a present.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
Well, you're single. You could use a nice, handsome fella, couldn't you?
That's my present?
You wait right here. Here you are.
It's a frog.
And he's all yours. He don't look like much, but when you kiss him...
Granny, I don't really believe he'll turn into a hen. handsome man.
Well, he might not turn into a movie star. Can't be a winner all the time. But what do you got to lose? Go on. Give him a big smooch.
Aren't embarrassed.
Oh, sure, I understand. I'll wait up here and turn my back.
Believe me, I wish it were possible.
Who put this ugly frog on my desk?
I did.
Oh, Granny. Oh, he's yours? Oh.
Hi there, Mr. Frog. See, you're a cute little fella.
He ain't a fella yet, but he might be after Miss Jane's kiss.
Kiss?
Well, Granny believes there's some validity to the old story about the maiden who kisses the frog and turns him into a handsome man.
Granny, that's ridiculous.
I say it ain't. I say I seen it happen. Now, are you saying I'm a liar?
Oh, absolutely not. But if you think Miss Hathaway should kiss the frog...
I think she ought to try it.
Hathaway, hook her up.
Oh, but she...
She don't have to do it in front of us. In fact, if she'd rather not, she don't have to kiss him at all.
Oh, thank you, Granny.
You can have his hind legs for supper. That's the beauty of a frog. You can kiss him or cook him.
Pa, would it be all right if you and Mom learned me to swim?
That depends on what that means.
Well, it means getting into a rubber suit and learning to swim underwater like a frogman.
Well, as long as there ain't no danger to it.
Oh, Mark will take good care of me. Don't you worry.
Ellie says to tell you she'll be right here, Mark.
Thank you, Granny.
You sure do like the water.
I love it.
It's as though you was drawn to it.
I could practically live in the water, Granny.
Ah! Look at your feet. You got frog feet.
That's right. These are my flippers.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mark.
Ellie, you gotta keep that boy out of the water.
Why, Granny?
'Cause every time he gets wet, he turns to frog. He put his feet in the cement pond. Look what happened.
Well, them's his flippers, Granny. They help him to swim fast.
Well, don't let him put nothing else in the water.
Come on, Granny. You said you were going to leave the young'uns alone.
Look at it this way, Duke. You're a Beverly Hills dog now. You got to have some class. You don't want to be the only dog in the neighborhood that can't do no tricks. Let's try it again. Go on, boy, fetch it. Get it. Come on, boy. Come on, you can do it. Come on, hurry up now, boy. Come on, hurry. Get it. Come on. Come on. I'll show you one more time. Now watch. See, now that's class.
What are you doing, Jethro?
Trying to teach this dumb old hound dog to fetch a stick.
I want to do something. Get him to fetch that Mark Templeton out of the cement pot.
Well, what for?
So he won't turn into a frogman again.
Granny, he is a frog man. Why don't you leave him alone?
Don't it bother you that your cousin Ellie might marry a thing like that?
Heck no. I'd like to be a frog man myself.
Are you listening up there? Would you believe this family of nuts that I'm stuck with? Give me a sign. Tell me what to do. I'm at my wit's end. Jethro, what kind of a bird is that up there?
That's a seagull.
Ooh, a water bird. That's my sign. I gotta get out back and try once again to get him out of the water.
That sure does look like fun, Mark. Do you think you could learn me to do all that?
Sure, you're a good swimmer. You make a fine frog woman.
Should I put on this here gear and try?
My gear would be too large. I'll get you a scuba outfit of your own.
Ellie! Mom!
We's here, Granny.
Ellie, I told you to keep him out of the water. Now look at him.
That's all right, Granny. This is how a frogman's supposed to look.
Well, for heaven's sake, don't let him get his head wet.
Granny, I thought you was gonna stay away and leave these young'uns alone.
Well, look at him, Jed. He's a frogman again.
I know that.
Pa, is it all right if Mark makes me into a frog woman?
Why, sure. Here you are, Granny. I made you some sassafras tea. That'll straighten you out.
Oh, sure it will. My granddaughter's in love with a frogman. Jethro and Ellie both want to become frog people. And you're going to straighten everything out with sassafras tea. What a family.
Well, Granny, you might as well get used to the notion. Ellie is pretty serious about that boy.
Some boy. You drop him in water and you get instant frog.
Yeah, you just have your tea, get some rest, and everything's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Miss Jane.
Granny gave me this frog, and I have no place to keep him.
Oh, he looks like the frog Granny had in the cage yesterday. She made a pet out of him, named him Mark.
Well, hello there, Miss Hathaway. Nice to see you again.
Well, nice to see you too, Lieutenant.
Is it all right if I leave my scuba gear in the dressing room?
Sure is. Mark's gonna get me one of them rubber suits and learn me to scuba.
I'd like to have her measurements.
So would I. Ellie, Mark needs your measurements and got the proper size suit for you.
Oh, 36, 24, 36.
What a coincidence. We have the same size waist.
Well, I'll be on my way. I'll bring your gear by later, Ellie.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, I'm leaving now too, Lieutenant. I'll walk you to the car. You don't mind, do you, Ellie?
Oh, not at all.
You might pretend to mind just a little.
Mark, I bet you'd like to have a swim. There you are. Have fun now. If I see a ticket, I bet you do.
Who are you talking to, Ellie?
Mark, he's having a swim in the cement pond.
Where are you, Mark? I can't see you. Oh, no, boy. Why wouldn't you listen to me? I begged you to stay out of the water. I pleaded with you. I know this would happen. Well, there's only one person I know that's smart enough to help me.
More bad dreams, Granny.
Oh, this is worse than a bad dream, Miss Jane.
Well, I think I know someone who can help you, Granny. He's a doctor here in the building, a psychiatrist. He's excellent at this sort of thing. I'm sure I can get him to see you immediately.
Did you hear that, Mark? We's gonna get help for you.
How do you do? I'm Dr. Klinger.
Howdy, Doctor. I'm Granny. And this is Mark Templeton.
Nice-looking frog.
You ought to see him in his uniform. He's handsome.
His uniform.
He's a lieutenant in the United States Navy.
Miss Hathaway said you had a problem, and you do. Now, why don't you just lie down over here and tell me all about it?
Well, he's the one with the problem. If he goes back to the Navy like that, who's gonna salute him?
Well, then why don't you both make yourself comfortable? Now, begin at the beginning and tell me all about it.
Well, he come to the house a few days ago and commenced courting my granddaughter.
See. And what did your granddaughter think about that?
Oh, she liked him straight off. Now she's head over heels in love with him.
With Mark here.
Yeah. I think she wants to marry him.
Did you by any chance bring your granddaughter with you today?
No, I left her.
Bad. Tell me, has she ever become fond of any other creatures? For example, a bird or a mouse?
Well, she ain't much for mice, but she's got a pigeon she's real crazy about.
Pigeon. Well, they're very nice.
And then, of course, there's Elmer the raccoon and Ralph the possum.
But has she ever expressed a desire to marry either of them?
Oh, no, she likes him. But Mark here is the only one that she's serious about.
I'm awfully sorry you didn't bring her along.
You'd like her. She's a real deal.
She sounds like it.
I think one of the reasons she took your Mark straight off is that he looks so much like his brother. Handsome rascal.
Is Mark's brother in the Navy, too?
No, he's a preacher.
Uh-huh. Well, tell me, Granny, exactly what would you like me to do to help you?
He won't listen to me. Will you please tell him to stay out of the water?
Mark, stay out of the water.
Thank you, Doctor. You don't know what you've done.
That is the absolute truth.